How many times have you been in Tallapoosa County?
Oh, I've been in Tallapoosa County a number of times. I've worked with Representative Graham when we built the new textile training center up here. You know, Tallapoosa County and Alex City sort of is hand in hand with the city that I grew up in called Fort Payne.
Right.
You know, you used to be large in textile, and Fort Payne used to be the sock capital of the world, and we were sort of connected at the hip. And those are the kind of things that concern me, and that's why it was a pleasure for me to work and build this textile training. And but one thing for sure is that Tallapoosa County is still an agricultural county, and it's an agricultural city. And sometimes we in government forget about how important agriculture is to the state, and we start talking about other things and forget about agriculture. As being the ag commissioner, I don't do that. You know, we've traveled the world to create trade and to create jobs, and over 50% of the poultry that goes to Cuba today comes out of Alabama. 90% of the wood comes out of Alabama. Opened up the first official trade office in India. Matter of fact, Representative Graham traveled with me to Brazil to look at the alternative energy. You know, they made a commitment in alternative energy and have done a heck of a job. They've come pretty well independent of foreign oil in Brazil, and that's something we ought to consider here. And that's something we ought to consider now, is because we lost out on what I call the first generation of alternative energy with corn and soybeans. We just don't, our corn goes into chicken feed. But we can look at the second generation when it comes to cellulose and wood, and we can create jobs, and we can create jobs for Alabama. We can become less dependent of foreign oil, and it will be good for the state of Alabama. But the first thing I want to do to create jobs would be to build roads. The $1.4 billion road program that I've laid on the table will put 38,000 people back to work, and that's what I want to do immediately.
Okay. Now, how would you? What could you do to help Alabama become independent energy-wise?
Well, that's what we've done at the Department of Ag. Is that we built our own biodiesel plant for a training center, and we partnered with Alabama and A&M, and we give thousands of dollars for research at Auburn University and Alabama A&M on technologies. Let me give you an example. Algae. You can get 3,000 gallons of algae oil off a 1 acre pond when you can only get 30 gallons of soybeans off the same acre. Those are the kind of things that we need to be looking at, and we ought to be doing everything that we can to become less dependent. And I think that, honestly, you know, for an example, switchgrass. We need to be coal-firing our furnaces, our electrical plants with switchgrass. We partnered with Alabama Power on those kind of projects, and we've got to make an environment in Alabama that people want to invest their money here.
Sure.
If you're a company and you've got millions of dollars that you want to invest, and you've got a better opportunity in Florida than you do Alabama, you're going to go to Florida. We need to make sure we're giving them that same opportunity of incentives and those kind of things to where they can be successful in Alabama.
What kind of